It's a reoccurring theme. They get red armor, and they just do not know what to do with it. It's like just getting the red armor is going to win the game for them. No, they need to generate that advantage into some real productivity, and they have to do that by going after the rail carriers.
Gastal being very aggressive over there in red armor. Even though the EXE team is dominant, Gastal has managed to get 1 or 2 kills every time he's gone over there. So attacking that RA has been almost a bigger asset than it has EXE holding it. We've got about a 22 frag lead now, and EXE is able to hold off a little bit, but I think those little small short spurts that we're seeing by 519 is what is going to keep them up in this game. Now, taking a look at the 4-player view here, Gator continues the domination of that rail area. Just like Wise Guy said, it seems like EXE has forgotten where that was. The only thing they know about that rail area is that's where they get fragged. Gastal is setting up for quad damage here, and it looks like EXE's got it. Take it away.
TNO walks away with a great quad run. It's like 519 threw in a bunch of Irish Spring because he walked away pretty clean with that one. And run over to the bottom of red armor and just ran into a lot of close-up fighting. It just didn't have, the shotgun just wasn't quite enough against all the machine guns in that lower area. Quad is down. Lost opportunity for EXE. Back to you.
Well, that wasn't a huge quad run for EXE, but I would say anytime they're picking up quad, that's going to be better than, not doing anything with it, or 519 having it. Taking a look at the stores, 519 continues to be dominant, but we're seeing some of the EXE members definitely come out and show their colors here. Bonk, Drew, and Zong, both now in the teens, and TNO has broken 20. Looking at the 4-player view of 519, continuing that rail domination is Gator, and up there with him was, I believe, 04, who's trying to get his grubby hands on a rail himself. All of these guys, they seem to do a great job of sticking together, and that's one thing that 519 has always not been the best at, is sticking together. Sometimes they like to play Rambo mode, and they like to go out and do things that they think are going to be great for demos. But what I'm really seeing here is a huge difference, and that is that 519 looks like they're playing like the teamwork style, a very solid 2v2 formation.
Yeah, and right now EXE does have, again, they have control of the red armor, but they're having a real tough time in generating that. And I think you made a good point. 519 does play a little loose, but they played the style so much that it's kind of an unsaid communication and teamwork. You're going to do this, I'm going to do this, you're going to do this. And it may look a little loose, but it's very effective, provided that everybody's on the same page. Right now, Bitch Players putting a lot of pressure on the red armor with the rail. We got TNO trying to hold it up. It was only a machine gun, but drops down into the quad pit. Drops right on the quad that's spawning up, but 519 takes down TNO. No advantage.
Yeah, no advantage there at all. TNO taken out almost immediately, and in fact, looking back at the scoreboard, it looks like he blew himself up, so the only frag that resulted from that quad damage looked like was also the frag that got taken away. Now, Methos had mentioned take a look at the top shots, and I think that's now a pretty good time to do so. It looks like 519 is dominating that board, while not so important on machine gun and maybe shotgun over the rocket launcher, the lightning gun, the rail gun, all being dominated by 519, including the plasma gun. Not the greatest accuracies in the world, but definitely goes to show that 519 looks like they're hitting their shots. Now we've got about, we're just shy 1 frag of a 20-point lead still. So EXE has kind of made that 20 frag limit the plateau. They're not going to let it go any further than that. They're going to kind of limit it there. But hopefully, if they can pull together here, we could see a little bit of movement on that score. But unless they start here before the 5-minute remaining mark, they're not going to be able to do much. And this game's going to go to 519.
Yeah, unless there's a big turnaround here, if they can put up 10 points, I mean, realistically on DM6, you can expect about 5 frag gain in a minute. That's, it sometimes goes a little bit better, sometimes a little bit worse, but that's about the average of what I've seen. And you've got about 5 minutes left at 20 points. So right now, EXE is right on that verge of, being able to come back. But I was looking over some of the other stats, and I tell you, a lot of people said Gator could be a potential MVP for this game. And I said, and you look over the stats, and one really stands out, and that's the rail. You know how many times he's fired it so far? He's fired it 93 times.
Wow.
He's doing a lot of damage with it. And right in the beginning, I said Gator was almost single-handedly holding 519. He wasn't generating a lot of kills, but he was doing a lot of damage. he'd get an executable player, and they'd wander off with like 2 or 3 health, just to have one of his other teammates, pick up that easy kill.
Right. Now, I have seen a little bit of advancement on EXE's side here. They've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 frags unanswered. Finally, Gator ends that streak, but it's 105-92. It's getting closer and closer. The lead is now down to 13, and TNO single-handedly makes it 11 frag game. We've got did quad damage already go, and we missed it, I think.
Yeah, and TNO's really coming alive in his rail. I mean, he's actually picked it up and fired it a few times. And he's not only that, he's firing it with an 81% accuracy, 9 of 11. Wow,
nice. And I saw 2 frags there on my monitor that were result of that accuracy. Now, Stacy, Socrates has taken his spot over near the rail area, making up for where Gator cannot. And it is less than a 7-point game right now. Unbelievable here. We've got 4 minutes remaining, and EXE, they are definitely making an advance here. Now, what are they doing differently? I noticed one thing. They're not at red armor.
That's the only difference.
Okay.
They didn't fire at the beginning. They're firing it now. That's what they're doing. And they're not being super effective with it, but they're being somewhat. They're able to get in a couple of shots that 100 point of damage. Like right there, Drew, covering the top shot. Pulls out a rail right now, takes down Bitch Slayer. It's those little kills that make such a big difference right now in these games. And another thing that's going to make a big difference coming up here in the last few minutes is the quad.
Absolutely.
How each team approaches it. If I was executable or if I could get some rockets, man, I just let 519 pile into that quad pit and just hammer them from above. But, because sometimes if you toss both teams into the pit, you're leaving things up to fate. Sometimes you may come out okay, and sometimes not,
Well, we've got a 5-point game here, and as quad comes up here, and it goes to TNO once again. He gets a nice shotgun frag on Gastal. That's going to be 1 frag for him. He sees Bitch Slayer at RA and Gastal. He's only got 4 health. He amazingly enough picks up that 50 and kills Bitch Slayer and Stacy. The games are tied, and now EXE has the lead. An incredible comeback by EXE. He gets another one over in red armor. That was 0-4, and Bitch Slayer looks like he's going to be taken out one more time. A 2 frag deficit now for 519, and this is the first time they've been losing this match. So oh my God, and a double rail by Gator as he nails Drew and TNO in the same uranium slug, making it a tied game again, but he gets taken out in the lower levels of the red armor. So what do you see over there?
Right now, advantage definitely executable. They've been able to pull themselves back. One of the key things I said, look, 519 is going to make a run. They're going to get up 15. They're going to get up 20. You got to hang in there. You got to hang tough. And that's what they did. They started making their shots. They started pulling things. They're playing really smooth right now. 519, maybe in a situation they haven't been before. It could force some errors here that executable can take advantage of. Right? Stacy's trying to hold down the lightning gun area and pick up some spawn kills down there. And Gator's doing what he's done best the whole game. He's just walking around the rail, being a moving turret, and still doing a lot of damage, but he needs a little help from his teammates right now.
It looks like the frags are going back and forth here now. We're seeing Zong assault 2 members of 519. He takes out both of them with his plasma gun, and it is a 3-point game, and with every increasing point right there, that just makes it worse and worse for 519. Zong's getting taken out, but from the looks of it, 519 is not set up for this next quad damage. We have about 15 seconds till that shows up, and we've got a 3-point deficit by 519. EXE has definitely showed that they are a contender by staying in this game and coming back from a fairly nice 20 frag lead by 519. We've got 1 minute to go now.
Now you're going to be looking at, looks like 519 walks away with the quad. Bitch Slayer. Only machine gun in hand, but with the quad, that's all you need. Picks up the shotgun, making his way up to the yellow armor, finds the target, and TNO.
Oh!
Takes him down!
Huge move there for EXE. That could have quite possibly ended the game right there. It is a 3-point lead here for EXE. I wouldn't say that 519's out, but unless they do some major fragging here in the final minutes, I think this game is going to go to EXE. Now we've got 30 seconds to go. Oh, and Stacy Craters losing a point, making a 4-frag deficit. TNO almost taken out. He just needs 1 machine gun bullet here. It's a 2-point game with 20 seconds remaining. Unbelievable.
Right now, Bitch Slayer's hunkering down the lightning gun here, just hoping to pick up some kills. He's making a tray across the middle deck. Just looking right now. Looks like a lot of Big fight at the yellow armor. Bonk trying to go after Big Play with the shotgun. Takes him down. Big kill right there.
And this game is over. 135-128.